Okay, you guys take care of it. If anyone joins the class, please let them in. Okay. So I will just focus on my lesson. Is it okay? Fair?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sri. So can you guys see my screen, right? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. If you see anyone waiting there, please let them in. Okay. Already Sudha sister is here. I'll let her in. But if you see anyone waiting there, please let them in because I will focus on the second screen. Okay. All right then. Let me start the class. Okay. So today this is the agenda. We are going to talk about few services. Last class. So we discuss about the general view of what are the cloud technologies. AWS basic concepts, right? Just we did some hands-on exercise too. Just we navigate to basic services. Just navigate, login, and we see the region. Last week we discussed about the data center availability zone and the region, etc. Right? So this class, let us dig deep a little bit into it. Okay. This is the agenda. Today we are going to discuss what is simple storage service, that is called S3, simple storage service, and Amazon Glacier, and virtual private cloud, and elastic compute cloud, elastic block storage, and costing aspects. I may not able to cover all of them because today I'm planning like a few hands-on exercise. And friends, I would like to encourage you guys to take cloud technology serious because that is really in high demand and it's very easy. Initially, there is a little bit learning curve, and and it does not involve any coding. I mean, in advanced level, if you go to advanced level, you can play around a lot of stuff with coding. But without even without coding, people can get a very decent job, very good job, and good pay. There are a lot of resources, a lot of what is that opportunities in this cloud technologies, especially AWS. And okay, let's see. So this is the agenda I came up with, but let's try our best to cover as much as we can. Let's not rush, but let's go with a decent pace. Okay, the first thing is simple storage service, S3, right? If you see that simple storage service. So, okay, this is the architecture diagram. Just take a look at it, but we will discuss it. So this is a simple storage service and scale automatically. I will explain all of them. Practically give you unlimited amount of storage, highly reliable, copies of objects made to different locations. Okay, so just take a look at this, good look at this, take a good look at this architecture, then we will discuss. Okay. Okay. So for any, see, as I told you earlier, AWS terminology, AWS, the way they use the words, terminology, it sounds like totally like a foreign, totally like new to us. But just it's the the nomenclature is different, the naming is different. Other than that, these concepts we have been using pretty much these services, whatever AWS is offering, we have been using in other technologies or in day-to-day life. So they use like really very different naming, but don't be confused. I will explain in the generic terms first of all before we even touch the technology, actual technology. Okay, S3 bucket, right? So like a folder, right? You want to create. So you guys share your computer with your family members, but you want to save your particular files in a folder, right? What do? You create a folder, separate folder, or you want to create separate folder, one for the church, one for the marriage, one for the trip, different folders, right? So think about this S3 bucket also kind of a folder, kind of a folder. So bucket or folder, so pretty much same, which are going to hold certain files. So that's what we are going to discuss. So as the folders are our local system, but here the folders or we are talking about on a cloud computer, right? So that is called bucket, simple storage service. That is called S3. S3 means simple storage service. So what we can save in the simple storage service and what we should not store in the simple storage service, we will discuss in detail. Right now, let us deal with a decent level. Okay, instead of go so deep into that, right? Yeah, that is our main. So one good thing about cloud computing, as I told you earlier, as your demands increases, and you can use more resources, cloud resources, and you pay for them as per the usage. Just like our electricity in our home. In the summer, all of our electric bills are high because we use more. Cloud also, the beauty is it's scalable. If you have a high demand, You will you keep ordering more services, and you keep creating more services and use them. And if you don't need them, you will destroy those S3 buckets, and you will give them back to the Amazon Web Services. Everything you operate it actually. You take more, or else you use less. This is called utility model. That is the beauty of it. You don't have to anticipate. You do not have to anticipate that I need 100 buckets, right? Buckets are, you think about like folders. You do not have to anticipate. Just to start with some, whatever as per your needs. As the usage grows, you order more. That's called scale up. As the usage goes down, you scale it down. You get it reduce the usage, and you will be charged as per your usage. Okay, here also the simple storage service S3. You can simple storage service S3 bucket, that is a scalable automatically and practically give you unlimited amount of storage. I mean, in Amazon, you can keep ordering, you can keep increasing the usage actually, and it's a highly reliable. Don't I mean, there are some certain kind of availability percentage Amazon AWS guarantees. That's like 99.9999 something. We will discuss in the next class. There are like 7 nines, there's are like 13 11 nines, something like that. So 99.9999 percentage means pretty much it's 100%. So don't worry that if you keep something on the S3 bucket, don't worry that you might lose those files. See, one biggest fear of cloud is on the internet. If you put anything on the internet, there is always a fear, right? So what will happen if somebody, some unwanted party access that, or some unwanted players access that, or what will happen is internet, right? Internet, if internet is down or something is down, right? So what will happen to my files? That is a kind of fear. So generally, we as a human psychology, right? We tend to believe in whatever we can control in our doorstep, not like something on the cloud. And that too, cloud is like a relatively new technology. It's no more new technology, already people started using it. But relatively new technologies mean obviously we have our own fears. Hey, can we keep my all the social security numbers or very important files on the cloud, or maybe not? Or maybe if it is a healthcare sector, can we keep all the patient information on the cloud? Because patient information, we need to keep it with a certain degree of high secrecy, right? Because there are regulations in USA that is called HIPAA regulations. All the hospitals, they're supposed to keep all the patient information very confidential. Only they will operate it as per the patient's approval. This is called HIPAA regulations. Okay, that is a different topic. We can talk later. So when we keep anything on the cloud, we need to think about many things. Is it highly reliable, or is it a secure, or what will happen if the more and more storage, if I need it, can it scale up? And one more thing is reliable, right? Earlier we talked about it, data center, high availability, and we discuss about region. So what will happen if you put all the data in one S3 bucket, like a simple storage service in Atlanta, whatever, or Florida. Let us think about Florida. Now Florida is dealing with that, right? So what will happen in Miami hit by hurricane? The data center is flooded with water, maybe sharks or alligators. So what will happen? It will be down, right? So if your specific data center is mapped to that data center in Miami, obviously there is a risk of losing it, right? Because some of the things we don't control. That's why, so before we put our data in a simple storage service or on the cloud, we think about, we have to evaluate is how can we afford if we lose the data, or can we afford if we lose our application? Can we afford if something is gone, we can rebuild it? Or else no, we cannot afford it for our business, we need to have it. Then what we do, we replicate, instead of keeping all the data in one place, maybe one in Miami and another one maybe in Maine, or maybe in California or in Washington, you keep it in different copies. So you don't copy them, the system automatically, when you in the Amazon, when we take that service, before take the service, you go for that, hey, I want a data replication. For that one, they will charge a special fee, because they have to maintain 4 separate copies at different locations. That's entirely up to you. You want to have like 100 copies or 2 copies based on your application. Some of the data we can lose it. That's okay. It's not a big deal. But some of the things we cannot avoid, right? So that's why, based on your business needs, you have to go for that. So again, the points simple. Don't worry, friends. If anything is not clear, don't worry. Again, we can discuss it again and again. Okay. Yeah. So here it is, application. And this is like a simple storage service. Application access the simple storage service on the data, whatever is stored on the application. And one more thing I told you, like earlier, most of the websites, whatever we see the websites, like any shopping website or Amazon website or shopping websites or any website, whatever you go, Facebook or YouTube, whatever it is, right? So there are different kind of contents. One content is like a dynamic content, it keeps changing, and one content is like a static content. So it won't change once you, I mean, it may change, but it may not change like as frequently as the dynamic content. All the websites kind of, the pictures, whatever pictures you put in, right? So those are all kind of static contents. So it won't change like every second. But some of the content can change very rapidly, like a banking applications, transactions. These kind of things are like a, okay, if you see any banking application, right, or Amazon application. So you see that in an Amazon website, if you order it, based on your order, it should reflect the pricing, quantity, items, and cart, etc. Right? Those are dynamic; they keep changing. But if you say this Amazon website, you see this Amazon logo, or some of the content. Hey, welcome to the Amazon website. These kind of things, they won't change every day. Those are like static content. So some of this static content can be on this simple storage service. I'm throwing an example. They may be using different technology, but for our just day-to-day example, I'm telling you. Or any banking application, Bank of America, the Bank of America logo, oh, Bank of America customer, whatever it is, they give the information, right? Those are static. You might be seeing the same information again and again and again for years or maybe months. But your bank transactions are dynamic, because every time you do the transaction, there are many things. It triggers, it ignites, it starts many activities like your money transactions and etc. So simple storage service is one a wonderful use case for storing any static information. So which doesn't change quite rapidly. Okay. So now simple storage service S3 bucket. S3 mean simple storage service. S3. There are three S, right? Okay. Scales automatically, practically gives unlimited amount of storage, highly reliable. Copies of objects are made to different locations. Okay. Yeah. So one example, one simple case we are discussing it, allowing user to upload a picture, upload a photo. I told you, right? Photos or files, whatever you are secure to, whatever you are feel comfortable, you can put it on the cloud in the simple storage service, S3 bucket. Okay, let's go to the next one. We will do a little hands-on. There we are going to store some upload pictures. We will create a S3 bucket on the cloud, then we will store it, then we will access it. We will play around a little bit. Okay, a little later. Let's go to the next one. Okay, how does it work? Simple storage service, S3 bucket, how does it work? Okay, simple storage service. Simple storage service, there is called bucket. Bucket is nothing but you think like a folder, a computer folder, right? A bucket. There we have object 1, object 2, object 3. You can store it like, you keep like multiple pictures in a folder or multiple files in a folder. So like that in the bucket also, we will keep like a object. We call it like instead of files, we call them, everything is an object. Objects are stored in bucket in a simple storage service. That is called, not every time we don't call it like a simple storage service. We simply call it like a S3 bucket, especially in US, right? We like to call it like acronyms, like a short names, like a simple storage service, S3 bucket object. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, not only that, not only S3 bucket, there are, S3 bucket, actually there are like different kind of storage structures. As I told you, right, based on Amazon Web Services is like very versatile and very dynamic, and based on your business needs. You don't have to purchase like a, hey, there is a model A, there is model B. You take model A or B, that's all. It's not like that, right? Amazon Web Services is very dynamic and very versatile, and based on your business needs, they have like a multiple models, actually, business models. So one is like a standard, second thing is like a reduced redundancy, and third one is infrequent access, and the fourth one is like a Glacier and a deep archives. So there are different kind of storage. In the S3 bucket also, there are different kind of storage mechanism. So one is like a standard. This is like a default standard. So this is used object to the buckets are accessed frequently. So whatever you need to access frequently, you go for the standard. So there is a different pricing for everything. Standard has a different pricing. Remaining reduced redundancy has a different, Glacier has a different, standard IA, and okay, one zone IA. Everything has a different pricing based on your needs. Okay. So S3 bucket, first we talk about S3 bucket. S3 bucket has a different kind of S3 buckets, different kind of standards, accessing standards and pricing also. The first one is like a standard default class. Obviously, this is pricing expensive among all these four. So I'm not saying that it's super expensive, but it's expensive among these four. And second thing is reduce redundancy. Designed to store non-critical data if you want to lower cost for storage, but don't mind reduce the SLAs. Okay, reduce redundancy mean what you do. You don't care, even though you lose this information, you don't care. Redundancy mean you don't want to keep like a multiple copies at one location, and you don't want to have like you don't want to maintain like 100 copies. So I told you, right? Depends on the importance of your data. You whether you want to have like multiple locations, whether you want to have one location, two location, right? Redundancy mean repeating the same thing, right? So we don't care. So, but only problem is reduced SLA. See, the thing is, there are a lot of things actually. SLA means, see, if your client, if your customer needs some information, like a Facebook, if you post the picture in a Facebook, if it takes like a minute, can we wait? We're like, no, Facebook is super slow. We don't wait for 1 minute. Nowadays, we are in the fast stage. But some of the things we don't care. Just you post it, and you don't care. It might take like 24 hours. You don't wait on it actually. Like some documents in a company, right? Some organizations, they need some required documents. You upload those documents. They will say, hey, the client will come back to you after 24 hours. You don't care. You are like, okay, I'm done. Successful upload the documents. You are done with that. But some applications like a Facebook or YouTube. So whatever you upload, you expect immediately. So that is called, the SLA or response time. Actually, those are really good, really quick enough. And some of them you don't care. I mean, it can take 1 day, 2 day, whatever, right? Okay. And second thing is standard infrequent access. So if you don't access that, whatever you want to store the files, you access quite often, then you go for the standard. And you access them not that much frequent, so you go for the redundancy. And you don't access them that much frequent, then you go for the third model in access, infrequent access, IA. And I told you, again, you can reduce the price if the files are not so important, and somebody, until and unless your client asks some files, you go and access them. So then in that case, and those are also not important information. So what you can do, instead of you maintain like different zones, I told you, right? Instead of having like a Florida, California, and different locations, you will maintain it one location. Even though you lose it, you don't care it. Okay. So depends on what kind of information we are handling, depends on whether you go for standard or reduced redundancy or standard. And fourth one name is very interesting. See that name, Glacier or Deep Archive. Just think like that. Glacier or Deep Archives are like pretty much, you dig deep into the snow. That is called glaciers, right? If you go to the North Pole or South Pole, those are glaciers or deep archives. So as the name suggests, right, in generic name suggests, it takes some time to get your data. So obviously the response time is less. You put a order and you will get that after 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, something, right? Or 1 week. So obviously it's a much lower cost. See, the cost depends on Amazon Web Services. The services in general, the rule of thumb is, the cost depends on how fast they can cater your needs and how secure it is. How do you need any, what is that duplication, replication, because, there is a high availability of your data. So these are all factors contribute in the costing. Is it clear? So costing depends on how frequently you want it, how secure you want it, and how, what is that resilient it is. If something happens, still you want to have your data back, right? So these are the factors actually. So S3 bucket, you discuss it. Simple storage service, S3 bucket comes with different models: standard, reduced, standard IA, and Glacier and deep archive. Depends on your business model. So you are the king or you are the queen. You decide whatever you want and you pay whatever you use. It's not like a static model. You buy a lot of hardware, you take a big building, hire a lot of people, and you use just 20% of 10% of it. It is not. This is like utility model. You use it, you pay it. If you don't use it, you don't pay it. And it's totally like a gas station. You want to go for regular gas or premium gas, like a different, depends on your business model, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Simple storage service, again, S3 bucket features. Okay, versioning, and you could even have S3 bucket having a static website, cross-regional replication, manage access to objects using the bucket policies. Good. Okay, versioning, I tell you. Versioning is pretty much, people whoever has a little bit coding experience, they know that versioning. So whatever file you change it yesterday, and today's file will replace it, and tomorrow file will replace it, next week file will replace all of them. But what happens if you want to access something of 1 month ago? If you keep like only one copy, right, the copy will be overwritten. So it's almost like our file on a folder. If you keep a file name like a F1, and tomorrow I keep changing it and I save it as F1 again, or day after tomorrow F1, 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 right? If you don't keep like multiple copies, what will happen? Whatever the latest, that's what you have it. If you want to have like 1 month back, you lose it. But here in S3 bucket, you can have it a versioning. So if you want to dig deep and you want to get it something from the past, you can get it. So that is called versioning. You maintain like different versions, and you can maintain your versioning. You want to give like date, or you want to name it or something, like that. So for example, see, for files also, right, we will put like backup bkp, backup and today's file or latest file, whatever it is, right? Those are all different versions. So similarly here, S3 bucket, we can get back your previous files using the versioning. And I told you right earlier, websites, in the websites, you can keep all the static content on the simple storage service S3 bucket. And cross-regional replication, again, I told you, right, the Florida, you can keep one copy there and another copy in California and another copy in India, or maybe wherever it is, right? So that there is a high possibility of retaining your information. There is something happen in California, Florida, still your copy is somewhere in Ohio or somewhere, right? Okay. And fourth one is manage access to object using bucket policies. Okay, you keep all of your content in the S3 bucket, but you don't like to keep it wide open. Anybody on the internet, you don't want everybody access your files, right? What will you do? You put a rule. Hey, I want to give the access to the only my friends. You can define the rules. You are the king or queen, I told you, right? So you define rules. Whoever you want to share it, you will share it. Whoever you don't want to share it, you don't want to share it. So you decide your rules actually. So it will help you to manage access to the objects using bucket policy. I told you, right? Whatever you store in simple storage service, S3 bucket, everything is called an object. So you manage the access of objects using bucket policies. Bucket policies, it's like rules. They will help you to define the rules. Who can access, who cannot access. If you work in a company, you can give access to management. So you create a group, and you add all the management people in the group, and you give access to the only group, that group, management group. Or you want to give your subordinates, you create another group like developers, and you create access to the developers. Or else you create a different group like a project managers or scrum masters, and you give access to the only scrum masters. Other people cannot see it. If other people want to access it, they will get a error saying that this is not accessible, or maybe they don't see it at all. First of all, okay, there are different things we will explore later. Clear? Simple storage service offer with lot of options. Let's quick recap. Okay, simple storage service comes with okay, applications access simple storage service. Simple storage service beauty is it's a scalable, practical, gives unlimited of, we can scale up, scale down, highly reliable, and we can keep it in the different locations. And second thing is everything stored on the simple storage service. Instead of folder, we call it bucket. This is called object. And if you go there, there are different kind of storage types in the simple storage service. Those are standard, reduced, standard IA, and one zone IA, gracious or deep archive. Okay. And next one is versioning, and S3 bucket behave like a static website and cross-region replication and manage access to the object using bucket policies. Good. Okay, let's go to the next one. I will share this okay, PPT also in addition to what is that YouTube video. Okay. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me anytime. Yeah. So what are we going to do? Okay, in this exercise, let us do creating a bucket in S3 bucket and upload files in the bucket. As I told you, right? Let us upload a image or something and browse for the content of, okay. Okay, it's not about just you uploading it and forget it, right? You don't want to lose it. You want to access it. So that's what browse for the content of the file. When you put something on the S3 bucket, you want to access it. And you want to play with that, and you want to give access, you want to store it, you want to upload it, that's entirely up to your call. Explore some of the features in the S3 bucket. This is what we are going to do shortly. Okay, so create a bucket in S3, upload files in the bucket, browse for the content of the files, and explore some of the features S3. Okay, so what will we do? Let us finish all this theory part, and at the end we can do some hands-on exercise. Okay, so that we can continue the flow. So simple storage service. What are we going to? Okay, I told you, right? Yeah. Is it done? Okay. Architecture diagram. Okay. So first the loser, sorry, sorry, user logs in and he logs into the AWS management console. User logs into the management console. Everything is through internet, right? It's like a website. AWS is like website. You log into the website. Then, then you can upload object to the S3 bucket. And, the arrow direction, you see that he logs in and he upload the object to the bucket and he access the object, download the object from S3 bucket. That's what we are going to do. The user logs in, AWS management console, upload and download. So that means that whatever object he put on the S3 bucket, he can access it. Simple storage service. Okay. Amazon Glacier. Okay, the next point is Amazon Glacier. I told you, right? Here there are different kind of S3 buckets, standard and reduced redundancy, and standard IA, and Glacier and deep archives. Glacier and deep archives are it's like a you can keep something there and arms you can access it. So it's not in a hurry. It's not like a Facebook or YouTube. There is no urgency. There is no expectations. So some information we don't need it. So I mean, some information we can only provide to the client or someone on demand. So that kind of information we can put it in a Glacier or archive. We can tell them, hey guys, if a client requests you, hey, we need last year audit reports or something, we can tell them, okay, certainly I can provide, but I need 1 week time. Or somebody say, oh, I need a last year's, some invoice details or something. So you can say them, okay, I will provide in 1 week. So meanwhile, you can put a request to the Glacier and you can get it back. So it's not as frequent as urgent as other transactions. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Glacier. Same thing, everything through the console. User log user logs in console and he access the components. We will play around a little bit. Okay. User for cold or archive storage, Glacier. Yeah, much cheaper storage options. I told you, right? Cold or archive storage mean cold or, I mean, it's not an urgent. Whatever information you save it there, it is not urgent. There is a time that is called cold or archive storage, as the name suggests, right? Much cheaper storage. I told you, right? Again, so it depends on it depends on the speed, and it depends on the applications, resilience, right? Depends on that. We have pricing, right? So archive, it is a slow, and you can wait for it. That's why it is a cheaper storage options among all these four, if you remember. Okay, so let's go further. Okay, okay, this is over. Much cheaper. Okay. If companies want to store or retain data for a longer period of time, some kind of information, you need to keep it, but they will keep it for a longer time, and the accessing that information is not frequent. It's not frequent, but they want to keep it for a long time. In that case, they go for this Glacier or archive. Instead of using a simple storage service standard storage class, considering using Amazon Glacier. Yeah. Simple storage service standard, I told you, right? The standard type is for the frequent access. Standard, the first one, the standard is for the frequent access. If it is not infrequent access and you don't care about SLAs, right? So then you go for the Glacier or deep archive. We discussed already. See, so again, good if companies want to store or retain data for a long period of time, or instead of using the simple storage service standard storage class, considering using Amazon Glacier. Yeah. And okay, how do you access this S3 bucket simple storage service Glacier, right? So there are several ways you can access it. We discuss one thing. What we discuss? We discuss going through the website, AWS Management Console. Management Console is like, we are going to play shortly. So it's like you open a website, there you literally see that. You literally see that where you are accessing, like it's navigating between one service to another service. That is called AWS Console Management. But friends, that is a common way we do that. That is most of the people, that's where we do that. But that is not only the way. Programmatically, you can access it. I told you, right? Behind all these graphically, pictorially presenting in front of us, but behind the scene, there is everything is like a technology. That is actually most of the time it is on Linux. Most of the time it is on the computer software, right? So the beauty is you can actually directly hit it instead of going through this graphically, nice graphical presentation, right? You can always hit these cloud technologies through a command line that is called CLI. CLI is a command line. So you can always hit a command line. And give me 1 second. I forgot to research that one actually. Okay. Software development kit. Actually, SDK means software development kit. Okay. There are several ways you can access the Amazon resources. Not only S3 buckets, but any Amazon resources you can access, AWS console, or you can, console, or you can access Amazon resources using CLI. CLI mean command line interface. Command line interface mean it's like a commands, you can write the commands, Linux commands, and you can access it. But most of the time we access through AWS console. Or programmers, what they can do, they can write like a software development kit, SDK, software development kit. They can write programs to hit the database, to hit the S3 bucket. Or you can use the life cycle management features in S3. I'm not sure about it. I will get back on that. Okay. Okay. So Amazon Glaciers, you can access console, you can access through the CLI, or command line interface, or SDK. Okay. Or life cycle management. There are several ways you can access that one. But in this class, we are going to play with AWS console. Okay, let's go to the next one. So simple storage service bucket, I told you. Simple storage service, initially the object is downloaded frequently over a period of week. Okay, simple storage service. And bucket, after a week, the object needs to be archived. Use lifecycle management transition object after a week. Yeah. So what happens? Some applications, right? Initially, when the application is created, when the object is created or file is created, it's frequently accessed. After that, infrequently accessed. So slowly, you can push it to Glacier or other storage device because it's not frequently accessed. Yeah, first initially accessed. See, whatever files, if you work on some files, right? The latest files, we always play with them. So even bank applications also, the latest transactions are current. But what will happen? The past transactions are there, but we will keep them as a statements, last month statements, before last month statements, or last year statements. But you don't access them every time, like as much as we access the current one, because current one always take the precedence. The remaining files are there, but those are not as frequently as accessed. That's why what we do, whatever files, see, if you see the bank account, right? The current accounts, current transactions are the frequently accessed. But if you see like a few months before transactions, they are less frequently accessed. What about few years back transactions? They might be visited like once or twice when you work on your taxes. You see that, right? Same bank account, same financial transactions, but the frequency is different, right? Current is always current. It need immediate attention. The past, little bit less. Even super past, yeah, you want access like once in a while. In some banks, that's why what they do. Hey, this is a classic example. See, I want a bank statements. I want a bank statement, immediate bank statement. What I will do, I will go and get my immediate bank statements, or even I can see the current transactions. Okay, I will mute it. Okay, so immediate transactions, I can see that. So what will you do? If you want to access like a previous few months transactions, of course I can go. Not only in the immediate portal where whenever I log into the bank account, I don't see, but I can go back to the statements. There is an option called statement. So they will map that kind of transaction to the different kind of storage. But what will happen if you want to access like a 10 years back statements? I do not have in the bank give like 1 year or something, 18 months or something. So then what I will do, I put a request to the bank, right? Then the bank will tell us, hey, sure, no problem, but there is a fees associated with that. You pay the fee, we will get you those transactions, but it will take you 15 days. So that kind of data, you can keep it in the Glacier or archives. The current data you can put in the simple storage service standard because it is current. But less frequent, you can put it in other infrequent or something. But Glacier is kind of that is example. So there is a relatively less to no chances of accessing that data. That's what, but still they keep it somewhere. But also banks also have the rule. They might be having some rule. They can only save, they are only liable to save customer data for 5 years, 10 years, or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not a financial guy. Okay. Now it's clear, right? Frequent data standard, less frequent, infrequent. Somewhere they put it infrequent. If it is not at all urgent, they will put it in the Glacier. And your customer expectations are like that. I cannot go and demand the bank. I need the 10 minutes bank transactions right away. I cannot do that, right? If you call the customer care also, they tell us very politely, sir, you can get it, but we need time. But if I don't see my correct transaction, get my paycheck by first. If I don't see my paycheck in bank account, of course, we are on fire, right? So that is the difference between a standard type and a Glacier type. Okay. Sorry if I explained too much, but suddenly came into my mind. I think that's the best way to correlate our day-to-day one, right? Okay. See, in order to retrieve Amazon Glacier, I told you, you think about like a bank statement, like 10 years or 5 years back or 2 years back. In order to retrieve an object, you have to submit a job request. Got it right? Because it is not readily accessible. Within the standard retrieval, it could take around 3 to 4 hours to download an object. You also have expedite retrieval as a higher cost to retrieve the object within a matter of minutes. Yeah. So everything is on money, everything is on sale here. So if you want a quick access, you have to pay extra. Or if it's go with the flow and you can wait until 3 to 5 hours. Yeah. The average time is like 3 to 5 hours. Okay. But for that one, we have to put a request. So it's not like you are not interacting with any person, but in the Amazon Web Services, when you log into the console, it will give you all these options. So based on your business needs, based on your finances, you manage it, whatever you want it. There is a technical support like any other products. Here also there is a technical support. We will discuss later. But most of the things we can do it actually because they provide all kind of tools. That is the beauty. Okay. So any questions and answers? First, let us deal with that. Then, let's have like a few hands on.
When you're saying about the lifecycle management, it is a AWS resource lifecycle that whatever you are created, it will see what is the lifecycle of it.
Oh,
the creation, development, and maintenance and the deletion.
Okay. Thank you, sister. I want to go a little bit deep. That's why I did not touch that. Okay.
Yeah, everything is like ongoing. Whatever you use, you have to pay. That's it.
Yeah, it's like utility model, like any like our electricity or gas, or yeah, we use it, we pay for it. Yeah, we do not pay even one penny extra.
Other than the,
yeah.
I mean, we can use a third-party database systems, right?
Yeah, we can connect them. Yeah, nowadays what they are doing, there are a lot of third-party database that are coming up, to work in tandem with AWS.
Yeah, parallel with the AWS. Yeah.
AWS, yeah. AWS has their own built-in databases, but the third party sometimes, if I'm a database expert, right? What I will do, I will put all my resources on database to generate a databases which work, amazing with the AWS. AWS, what they will do, they will come up with their standard set of databases. It may not fit my business. It's like a customized databases, some databases, right? They work very well for certain scenario. So in that specialization, people go for that, the customized special databases, but still they work with AWS. See, AWS, when they developed the AWS, right? AWS focus is as a package, as AWS, they develop certain features. But if in the market, always there are third-party people. They work very closely with AWS because they have to what is that? Blend very well with AWS. Somebody create the best database in the world, but if it doesn't suit well with AWS, people cannot use it on the AWS combination. So that's why they always work with AWS specifications, white papers before they design any product which is AWS specific. Yeah. That's why there is a concept called plugins. What they will do, plugin can be a piece of software, or it can be jars, or So what they will do, they act like a bridge between these two products.
So yeah, everything has individual pricing, and everything has the cost associated with what you want. So AWS basically is like you pay first, then we provide something, you pay according to that.
Yeah, there is a pricing model for it, But some of the third-party products, some of them are like free, because there is like a at least some universities, actually the students, they develop some products. They are at least some of them, what they do until they become so popular, right? They let the users, they use it, and while the users use them, right, they might find some bugs and they will fix them, make sure that the product is like really stable. And not only that, it's a popular. Then after that, sometimes it's like, if it is like a open, what is that, open developer groups, if they develop it, then they let it free. Or else sometimes, if the like a Red Hat or something, it will also support the open group development. But after a while, what it will do, it will
Open
sell it to some
source.
other company. Yeah, yeah.
Open source. Okay.
Open source, yeah. So sometimes what happened, like the Linux initially started like open source, right? But what happened, there are open source Linux versions are there. But what happened, some companies, they went a little bit ahead of it, and they added like additional features. But it has a pricing model, so there is always a option of go for the free version. it may have it may have some standard features, but if somebody wants to go a little bit more extra, they have to go for some customized versions from a vendor. Any questions? Or else we can go for the lab. We can go to the next lab session. We can get our we can practice a little bit. Can we go?
Yeah, sure, brother.
Only Joseph and sister is asking questions. What about you guys? Why you are so quiet? Shall we go?
Okay.
Okay. Another person is okay. What about the remaining two? Three. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm navigating. Okay. I'm not wasting time there, but please. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know. Uploading and downloading. Okay. Okay. You guys can you see the screen? 404 page not found. Did you guys see?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Let's do some hands-on. First. Okay. This I saw that actually before I started the class. I studied a little bit about like hour. So then I saw that it's already not there. But it's covered here. I told you, right, the beauty of this VisLab is it's like a simulator. It's not a real time. I'm not using a AWS real environment, but through VisLab, I'm using a AWS environment. But there is a contract between VisLab and AWS, which I don't have to worry about it. But if I use my own, if I use it right myself, right, so then I have to worry about it. If I let any service run or something. But here, anyway, they give like 20 minutes. I have to finish this exercise in 20 minutes. So let's target that. You guys see my screen, right? Still. Okay, he got all the details here. And see, end lab. So I have 20 minutes already, the clock starts clicking, right? You see 47, 46. Okay. We don't need that much time. That's why, I'm just playing around. Okay. Let me do that. Let me close this guy and let me drag this guy to the other screen. Where is he? Okay, maybe here. Okay. Let's open a console. Okay. Let me open a console in a different window. So I open a console here. And he give you the login and password. They give the login and password. So I have to copy this username. Okay, where is my second window? Okay. We'll come back again. Okay. Okay, you guys see my console, right? Okay, username. You see my username?
Yes.
Okay. Let me enter the username here and password. Okay, I have a second window. You may not see that second window. So I see it here. Okay. Here, see a login. So this is a console, AWS console view. So I'm not talking about CLI, command line interface and SDK, software development kit at this point. Okay. Okay. Now we log in here. Now we are going to create a S3 bucket. Okay. So, okay, that's good. Okay. What will we do? Very easy. Okay. Now I'm in the AWS console. The first thing I told you last time. So we can very easy. We can navigate anything. So we can type like a service. we can type like a services, then it will take us to services. AWS services get started with catalog. Okay, that's okay. Even what you can do here, services, you click on the services. When you click on the services, what do you do? What do you see here? S3, right? Let's go through the S3.
Okay.
Okay, now we are in the S3 bucket. Okay, now it is a create bucket. So right click on it, and it's like step-by-step process, create bucket. Okay, so he suggests some bucket name. So let us create some bucket. Okay, suggest me some bucket. Whatever it is. Okay, let's create that.
Course bucket.
Okay. That's good. Okay, so okay, I create their bucket as this. Okay, and this is like a bucket, and AWS region. This is the AWS region, and there are multiple regions, right? Every bucket is particular map to particular region. So I'm saying that North Virginia by default, friends. Most of the time when we work in US, most of the time the bucket is mapped to North Virginia. Yeah, North Virginia. And bucket settings for block public access. Okay, yes, disabled. All objects in the buckets are owned by this account. Access to this bucket and objects are specifically using any policies. Specified using only policies. I told you, right? So you can control who can access, who cannot control the buckets. Okay, so you don't open it wide open to the entire world, whatever you put it in the folder bucket, right? So just you declare, you are the boss. Okay, so next one is there are different configurations, different settings. Let us deal with that as many as we can in the initial classes, right? So you create a bucket name, and okay, and there is a region, and ACLs disabled recommended. So you are going the recommended versions, and block all public access. So block all public access mean later on you want to access this file mean you will have some problem, because we have to access through the website. That's why I uncheck that one. Block all public access mean it is very secret. We cannot access through a website. But later on, I'm going to create a website, static website, which we need to access this one. So that's why I'm unchecking this block all public access, block all public access. And I am acknowledging whatever I am doing it, I'm acknowledging. Okay. Leave other settings as default, create the create button. Okay, he said that leave everything as it is. It automatically comes with default settings. Just I change only one thing, block all public access. Okay. So once everything is good, he said that leave everything. So I'm also leaving as it is. So just create bucket. Okay. Bucket with the same already exists. Of course, this is their bucket. Okay. Okay, Sri, you told me what is the bucket name you want to push it?
I said course bucket. That's it.
Course also common, right? Let's put like a. Okay. Is it okay? IT technologies or something. IT technologies 100 or something. Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, just we are creating some folder. Yeah. Bucket name must not contain uppercase character, but must not contain uppercase. That's good. It's suggesting actually. So this is like, oh, then it is a case sensitive. Okay. Okay. Bucket is created. Our bucket is okay. The bucket is here. Okay, this is the bucket. You see that IT technologies 100. We created that, and bucket is created. Okay, let's access this bucket then. Click on this bucket. Bucket is nothing like folder. There is nothing super crazy here. Okay, now see, it's like a folder. Upload a. Hey guys, can you mute that one, please? Please mute it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so okay, so now it is like uploading. So this is like a folder, right? Like any other folder. Bucket also like a folder. I told you upload. Okay, I already got one picture ready. So okay, add files or add folders, whatever it is. Okay, add files. Let's add a file, and okay, too many files. Okay, let's go here. I think I kept something. Okay, study cloud technologies, AWS Core Services. Okay, one picture from okay, okay, upload that one. Okay, add files. I upload this file. Okay, now click close. Okay, upload. Yeah. Okay, my file is uploaded. It's successful. Okay. Now click the close button on the typewriter the close. Okay, wait, is this one? Okay, now I'm closing it. Okay, see, this is the bucket I created. We've created a bucket. IT Technologies 100. We created a bucket and we upload a file. And now we have to download the file. See, the file is accessible. Okay, let me click on it and what will happen? Okay, it is telling about the object, whatever I have stored. Bucket versioning enabled. Okay, there are other options. I told you, right? The file, same file, we can give like a versioning, like yesterday's file, day before yesterday file, last month file, etc. So we will play with them, as time progress. So it is, see, I upload a picture and it is telling that about the picture. It is telling that, see, go to the bucket. When I click on the file, it takes me here and it tells everything about it. Who is the owner and, picture. And even it gives a URL, like a website, it gives a URL. Let me click on the URL and see that what is there. See, access is denied. By default, it is not accessible. We have to change the permissions. We will play with that a little bit later. Like a website, it has a link, but it is not letting me to access it. So we need to play with the, okay. So first we upload that. We created a bucket, S3 bucket, and we upload a file. Now downloading actually. So let us see that where we have the download button. Okay, click this one and we have the option like a download. See, uploading and download. I download on the folder. Okay, so I simply upload a what is that Bible verse, that is a, so that's fine. Okay, good. So see, you see that, right? I uploaded a file and I downloaded a file. That's all. That is the first exercise. We created a bucket and we upload a file, we download a file. Okay, that's all. So let us validate whatever we have done. So for the first exercise, what we have to do, we have to validate that. So this is very simple. Friends, I encourage you guys, whether this is $30 or something, but there is a lot of fun. You can get a lot of hands-on exercises. That is really good. Okay, we did that. Now we have to validate our exercise. So validate the exercise. There is a next page. Where is that? Okay, okay, this is called validation. Okay, I'm done with this exercise. So what I did, I'm validating. So let us see. System automatically goes and check that whatever I have done, if it meet the, okay, validate my lab. Okay, lab validation status success. Okay, what I did, what we did, we have created S3 bucket and we have uploaded object. Creation status successful, upload status successful, object download status successful. We did that, all these three. So you have successfully created S3 bucket with name, this one, and the region is North Virginia. I told you, right? When we create the S3 bucket, it should be specific to particular region. So we create North Virginia as we are in US, and object name is bib.jpg, and your is downloaded. Yeah, we did all of them. So validate my lab. If you want to do one more time validation also, it is checking actually. So it will check with whatever we're supposed to do with whatever we have done. Then it will give a status. If you don't do one of them, it will say that it's not successful, right? Okay, so we are done with this lab. We're good. So we are done. If I last time you saw that, right? If I don't end this right in 9 minutes or so, it will automatically end that one. Oh, as we finish this exercise before that, so we can end this lab. Okay, take a deep breath and we will go to the next exercise. Let us do one more before we end this class. Okay, he is asking for feedback. We don't have to give, that's fine. Okay, if you're interested, you can give it. Okay, that's good. So this is what we did. So still we are on the, oh yeah, I think already we end this lab, right? I think you should go. Yeah, it's already gone. Okay, it's good. So pretty much we did that. My dashboard, you go here, and our course is AWS Cloud Practitioner, Certified Cloud Practitioner. It's good actually. VisLab, I love it. I mean, we can get our hands dirty and just he give like a step by step. It will build a lot of confidence. Though they look like simple step by step operations. And what I will do, video courses, I am there, labs. Okay, let us do one more. So what we did, we created the S3 bucket. That's the reason I think they removed that one, because they put all the 12 and 13 together, upload and download a file. We did all this 12 and 13 together. You see, right? We create S3 bucket, we upload a file, download a file, right? Right. Okay. Now you see that, right? I create a file, but I cannot access my file because it gives a URL like a website, but I cannot access that because I told you, right, earlier, if you remember, we need to do a little bit more to give a access, right? Access permissions. I think in this exercise, they're doing that. Let us see what it says. Okay, start a lab. This is 25 minutes lab, but considering our pace, definitely should not take this time. And you see that there is architecture diagram also. The first user, he uploads object. So first we have to upload an object, and that will be in the bucket. I told you, right? Everything in the bucket is called object, right? Then we can download the object. So this first part we already did it. So we are going to repeat the same thing. Now we have to give the permissions. Earlier we did not work on the permissions. We did this part. User, we upload a bucket. First we create the bucket, upload a object and download object. One first part we did that. Second part we did not do that. Now we are working on the second part. It must be fun. Okay, let's see. Okay, start a lab. Let us start a lab. Hey guys, please let me know if I'm going really crazy fast. Okay.
It's good.
Okay. Thank you, Sri. So, okay, here it is. Okay, let us, okay, where is that one? Okay, now we have to do the same thing. Actually, user ID. I put it in the other screen because it's the same rituals. I enter the first user ID and I put the password here. Okay, let me go to the AWS console again. See, friends, don't worry about CLI and SDK at this point. So as I told, as I'm repeating again and again, right? So pretty much, yeah. See, now we don't have to see the instructions. You see that? How beautiful it is. See, last time we visited the S3, automatically it suggests as S3. We don't have to search it again. Still, if you want to just get a little bit hands on it, so you can go to the services here and you go through S3 bucket here. And again, the same thing. Okay, now we have to do all the steps actually, starting from create. So, okay, the old one is gone by the time. Let us see if it is gone or if it is not there. I don't know. Okay, create a bucket. We create a bucket. Let us put the same name. IT. Last time I put a capital and it's not happy with me. So I'm not doing it again. Technologies 100. Let us see if it is there, it is there, or else it will tell it is already taken. Okay. Technologies name and ACLs disabled. Okay. Block all the public access. We uncheck that right earlier. So block all. Okay. And we need to do acknowledge. Where is that acknowledgement? Okay. I acknowledge. Okay. Here it is. Simple steps. We did that. Name. We keep it as it is, recommended settings, and but only thing is unblock it, right? And we acknowledge that one, whatever we did it, and remaining all we kept it as it is. Okay, let me see what he tells that. Okay, first of all, name and object ownership, select ACL enabled and select the object writer as object owner. So ACL enabled. Oh, ACL enabled. Okay, see, there is one more change here. Object ownership, earlier it is like a disabled. Even I cannot access my object, but here object in the bucket can be owned by the AWS accounts. Access to the bucket and its objects can be specified using ACLs. Now people can access that one. So that is a change actually he wants us to do. Select the ACL enabled and select the object writer as object owners option. Okay, this one actually. The difference between earlier and this one. This is ACL enabled. Got it? Simple thing. Bucket name, region, and options. How to access object. So we are giving options like ACL enabled. We can access that. Then unblock it. We remove the uncheck it. So people can access it. And I acknowledge whatever I change it and create the bucket. That's it. So our bucket is created. It means that the whatever bucket I created last time, it's gone because that is just a simulator. It is not the real environment. But in the AWS real environment, if you create a bucket, it will stay there. Okay. Now the same thing. It's like a folder. I click on the folder. And what will you do? Let us upload our file and add a file. Okay. Let us add our file. A verse from Bible. Good, right? So then we upload that. Upload that file. Okay. Successful. Upload is successful. So now click on, see, there is a website like website. It is giving a file location also. There are two ways you can access here, or let us go here. Let us click on the image. It will give all the image details. It will tell that image owner is so and so, whoever logs in, and this is the image, and this is kind of website. You see, S3 bucket. It clearly, it so beautifully tells that. So let us click on this one. Yeah, this is the object URL, like our website URL, like, bankofamerica.com or something, right? This is the URL. This is how we can access it. So let's click on it. Access denied. Good. Let's see what we are missing. Okay, under objects. Okay, there is something is missing. You see then access denied message, which means the object is not publicly accessible. Still, it is not publicly accessible. Let us see that what is missing. Change the object permissions. It means still the permissions are not enough. So he is telling that there is something called permissions. Here, click on the permissions. Very simple, actually. It's general logic. So you create that bucket, put a file, upload that file, and we are trying to access using the web. What I will do next time, I will grab this URL, I will put it on a browser instead of clicking directly from here. Then you understand that, anybody in the world can access that. I will give you that URL also, you also try. But before we do anything, right, what we have to do? We have to change the permissions. So let's go to the permissions. Okay, in the permissions, in the URL will be listed under the object URL. Okay, change the permissions. Under the object, click on this one. You can see the image details. Honor this one. Open image link in there. You will see access denied. Okay, good. Go to the permission tab. We did that. We went to the permission tab, and there should be edit button. Okay, edit button. We click on the edit button. Disable. Okay, everyone. Okay, everyone in the public access. Let us see. Object owner. Read, write. Okay. Everyone public access. You see that? Everyone public access is not. It's unchecked. Mean they do not have the permission. So what we are going to do? Check the read checkbox of objects. Okay. Objects. Okay. Everyone check the read box of objects. Now scroll a little bit below, and I understand the effect. So see, it is double checking with us. It's not.
What is the ALC objects? We know what is the object. What is the ACL?
ACL. We will access
Access
control list.
control.
Actually, access control list.
Okay. So why we have to give it differently, both of them? Because when you are saying give access to the object, whatever I'm creating, why access controlling a list I have to give?
Access control list also we give it, right? So
No, actually we have to give the access to the object. Why I have to give the list
Okay.
to?
Okay, let us do that then. Let us give access to the only objects and see that what happened. Okay. Yeah, let's see that. If not there, we can play with that. Yeah. So okay, this is the URL. Let's grab this URL. Yeah.
Anna, 1 second.
Yeah, sure, ma.
There you have an URL and you are the owner and you are accessing the URL. Why can't you read, Anna? I don't understand. Why you're not able to read? Because you can download it, but you are not able to read. I don't understand the difference.
Yeah, earlier I should able. Yeah. Is anybody talking?
Even though we are creating the object, we don't have the access. Read means nothing but to see the object.
No. I tell you. Grace, I can access my object. But it is over the web, right?
Yeah.
Accessing the object over the web.
Okay.
Yeah. But let me see. Object owner, your AWS account. Actually, it can read, and everyone on the public access. This is a public access. Okay. I got it. If I log into my AWS account, I log into my AWS account, right? Earlier also, I can access my AWS account. See, if I log into my AWS access, I can access this object. Not through this URL. This is a public URL. It's a public URL.
Yeah, that's what Anna. This is the owner account and the owner created it and he can't use, he can't access the URL. I don't understand the difference.
I tell you, yeah. I can access the object. Object is image, right? That image. I can access the image.
Yeah.
Through this portal.
Okay.
But I cannot access the object through the public
Browser.
internet.
Okay, through the browser, right?
Browser, because see, when I hit the browser, right,
Hmm.
it does not know whether it is me or anyone.
Okay.
How does the system knows that? Browser, because
Yeah.
browser like a common URL, Ratali.
Yeah, I understand.
Like bankofamerica.com, it does not know, right?
The problem is I'm facing is that this is your account, right? So you have the URL. So okay, maybe you should give the permissions to. Yeah.
No. I will explain. I will explain. I
Yeah.
can access in the console because I am the user. I am the one upload that one. That is good. But that is called public access. Public access mean I'm trying to access the same object outside of this console, even from India.
Okay.
So in that case, it does not know whether it is me or anybody else.
Hmm.
But as long as I am in the console, it's like like my bank account, right? As long as I am in the bank account, I can access my money, whatever it is, right?
Hmm.
If I log out, still I want to access something, right? It will treat me like anybody else.
Yeah.
So the system does not know the difference.
Yeah.
Because once I access public access, I will be part of public too.
Yeah.
Public access means through internet browser. Private access means through my, I'm not using, I'm just to differentiate, I'm telling that one. As long as I am in the console, now I'm in the AWS console, that is a private access.
Yeah.
So pretty much that is the file. I am the owner of the file, I can access.
Okay.
But somebody else log into another AWS console, they cannot access my file because this is my file.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
like American kids, they say, right? It's mine. This file is mine as long as I am in the private cloud, AWS cloud. But
Yeah.
public access means browser. Browser is like internet browser.
Hmm.
So there is no way system knows that is me.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So that's why public access means including myself also. For myself also, it need to give an access actually. Private access, we don't need that. For me, at least private access, I don't know, need that. That's why, right? For the private access, I do not need that. That's why, I should able to download, upload, I can play around with that, right? Yeah, I can access as long as I'm a log into this console, I can do that. But if I go outside of my console, if I, even I log it off and I save that account, right? Save that URL, right? I should able to access that one. System does not know that whether it is me or anybody else.
Oh, no, my doubt is you have it in your console. The URL is in your console, right? So that's why I got confused.
Oh, okay. The URL is in my, the URL generated in my
that's
console, but the URL is to access from outside.
Yeah.
That
Now
URL is the URL got created here. So we have the information, but the specific purpose, the explicit purpose of that URL is to access from outside.
Yeah.
It is telling me, if you want to access your object, use this URL. That's what it is telling that. That is the purpose is to access from outside. So when I access from outside, public, right, as one of the public member, it treats me as one of them also. Clear?
Yeah, no, it's clear. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's why, sister Josephine, you are correct actually. I did not give this object ACL, but still I can access that.
Yeah.
You see, just I give the read access and I understand it, right? So save changes. So I got this URL here. So this is a universal URL, Grace, sister. This is a universal URL. It's
Yeah,
not
no, I
only
got
for,
it now.
yeah. Okay. So hey guys, I need a favor from you guys. Okay, I posted in the chat. I think I can, but I'm not. Oh, it's not coming up actually. Okay. What I can do, let me do. Okay, I will come here. Okay. Can you do me a favor? Can you guys hit on this one? I gave you a URL in the chat box.
Yeah, we able to see the picture.
You able to? I mean, that is like website. Okay. Yeah, you can access that one. Okay.
Yes.
So okay. Access denied. Okay. Now again, open your tab on this one and display the access denied page. You can see your image and added successfully. Public this one. Okay, that's good. You got it right. We create a bucket, we upload image, we download image, and now we change the access permissions also. Now people can see it.
Class. This is
Good.
my class.
Yes, public can access it.
Yeah. If any family member come close, ask them also to join the class. Then it will solve many problems. Okay, good. Okay, this is what we do. Okay, I think this is good enough for today. It's good, right? So I encourage you guys to go for the simulator. See, now you can play a lot of stuff actually. See, I'm not saying that I'm a master in that. Even I'm also learning a lot. So what you guys do, right? If you have a simulator, right, just keep playing with that one. What will happen if you give the access? If what will happen if you
No,
don't
don't
give
do
the
that.
access? You can do a lot of things actually. Okay, you can, yeah. So I encourage you guys to
Actually,
go for.
one general question, brother.
Yeah, sure.
Well, with the data centers that are in, you said about the data centers, right? What happens in case of a hurricane? What we are experiencing right now in Florida? If the data centers get affected, how do they manage these things, brother? Like with so much of data in there,
Yeah.
with the how do they manage is my question. Like,
Good.
Do they have an exact replica in some other region, or how? Because we do not see any changes in our internet or in our data storage facilities. We don't see any interruption whatsoever as a user.
Right.
So how do they manage that? It's out of topic, but I thought I'll ask.
No worries. Earlier we discussed one thing, right? So data centers and high availability. High availability mean availability has one or more distinct data centers. So it's again, we are the owner for our application. So when we create the application itself, we have to take an internal decision. So what will happen if any particular AWS data center is gone, our business, whatever info, whatever we have it, right? Or that will also be gone. So in that case, we have to take a decision and we have to say that, no, it's not going to work out for us. We have to make our, data or information or website, whatever it is, right, should be copied in different locations. So when we create website itself, when we create our application, when we create our data itself, we have to work with the AWS. Everything, all the tools are available. Everything is working. Mean you're not working with any person. So we have to ask them, hey guys, we need high availability, not one particular data center. So then it means that our data is replicated in more than one data center. So generally how they do the data centers, they will keep it like a separate, they're like a totally independent entity, like a power, electricity, internet, whatever it is, they don't share anything. So one center is down, another center is there, high availability. But what will happen if both the high availability zones are in Florida, one in Miami, another one is in Tampa? But if both are affected by this hurricane, what will happen? We will lose both, right? So in that case, if our application is that much important, what will we do? Creating the application itself, we will ask them more than one region, maybe not only North American region. So that is entirely up to us. The more and more our specifications are going, if we take like more than one region, right, obviously our everything will be replicated in different zones. One zone is up, down, still we don't worry about it. Other one, that is their problem, AWS problem, because they have zones across the globe. So even we can choose it. Where do you want to do that? What do you want to do that actually? But everything depends on it. There is a pricing actually. See, some applications, right, you want to keep it one in North America, another one in Asia or somewhere else, still you can go for that. But there is a pricing, right?
Okay, right.
Everything,
right.
You are the boss. You declare everything and you pay it as per your needs. That's it. Yeah. One data center always risk actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell me.
And what's the size of a bucket?
Size of the bucket, actually, I don't know the standard size, but bucket can be scalable. You can up and down. Yeah, depends on your usage. Yeah.
Uses. It's not like there is no particular this much size.
Oh, it's not a physical entity. It's actually a logical entity, right? So there is no particular size. Yeah. I mean, it comes with some standard, but I will find it out then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the maintenance of the data centers is not only the availability zone. They keep it the data whatever we are. There is a permanent data storage. I mean, without losing, there is a thing called brother. I think you read about this one, right?
Yeah. Please go ahead and share. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there is a thing called the AWS. So what the system is, you never lose your data. That is their policy.
Okay.
Even though, yeah.
So I'm sure that they are having this data at multiple regions.
multiple locations. Yeah,
Yeah, multiple regions, so that the data never gets lost, because
yes.
data on the whole is very useful to for every person. Their data is very useful. Nobody likes to lose their data.
Yeah, unless
So-
you want to delete it permanently. Otherwise, it will always stay in the AWS.
Yeah, once on the internet, it's always there. Yes, now this thing. And brother, you were talking about simple storage, right? And buckets. So
Yeah.
now simple storage service is also a form of a data storage, and a bucket is also a data storage, right?
Correct.
So what's the? I'm kind of getting confused with that. Like in the what's the difference between those two? So,
No, I told you, right? Bucket is a simple storage, right? Simple storage service, but it has like different types. Now, in S3 bucket itself has a different types, depends on our mode of operations, depends on our business model. Is something we need to access quickly, right? That is like a standard type. But if something can wait, that is called archiving. It comes with a different flavor, sister. It's like, think about S3 bucket, right? S3 is like a simple storage service as ice cream, but ice creams comes with different flavors. It is pretty much the same.
okay.
Yeah, depends on our business. We make a call actually. Amazon won't tell us, so we will make a call. Hey, like bank statements, like 1 year back, 10 years back bank statement. There is a difference, right? 1 month back bank statement and 10 years back bank statements. So that's entire. We make the call actually. What we want to store, where we want to store. Even the database also I told you, right? Amazon guarantees. Once you put on the Amazon guarantees, but still you don't want to take even 0.0001% risk, right? What will you do? You would say that, hey, I need a data replication in more than one zones or more than one region. So that is entirely up to us.
If you know the data or how you're getting the data from the web, it's like if it is screaming, means you are constantly getting the data by second. You need something very fast acting system. So depending on what data
response time. Yeah, response time should be like very quick. See, for example, Facebook, right? I cannot put the Facebook data in the archives because right, people expect the result in a seconds, not even minutes. So in that kind, what I will do, I will use the S3 standard bucket. But if you like a bank statements like 5 years back, then I will use the S3 Glacier. Because see, bank statement kind of thing, like 5 years bank statements, who will expect like once in a while? So why should we pay extra money for the standard? Why would I keep in the standard? I will keep the latest bank transaction information, the files, whatever it is, that is in the S3 bucket, because those are current. People, there are pretty good chances that people might visit them frequently. Then something is like historical or archiving. You got it?
Yes.
Can you
You
please
see, like we
repeat
keep
the question,
now,
Anita?
yeah.
Sorry.
Just I tell you. See, for example, if you go to website, right, Wikilogs or wiki pages or something, right, Wikipedia or something, right?
Yeah.
Most of the information, if the information is static, it will be there on the internet, but it is static. So you don't have to keep it in a very costly, expensive S3. S3 has a different flavors. S3 standard, S3 archive, S3 Glacier. Different. There is a different pricing. There is a different purpose. There is a different flavor.
So you asked the difference between S3 and bucket, right?
No, S3 is nothing but S3 bucket. S3 is like simple storage service is S3 bucket. We don't keep saying bucket every time, but that is actually simple storage service folder.
Yeah, bucket is nothing but a database system. I mean,
like
object.
You think about like a folder. Think like a folder, or when we go to the apple picking, right? We have a bucket or basket, right? Think like some place where you can keep it. Database also same, right? There is a location where you keep everything, but it's not only just dumping there, right? Whenever it is needed, you should be able to retrieve it. That is called retrieving. You need to access that, address that. That's why S3 bucket, everything has a unique address.
Yes.
So in real time, a bucket can be a website, right, Anna?
No, not website. It's saying
documents.
A document. Okay.
Documents. See, when I access any website, right? When we access any website is a combination of many things. There are dynamic components, there are like, scripting components, and there are static components. So generally what people do is dynamic stuff, they reside on the server. In Amazon, the server is called EC2, but the static components can be on the bucket, because most of the static components, those are on the bucket. Still, there are different kind of static components. Some static components are quite often, some components are like, like you don't care. I mean, it will take like a long time. So in that case, we have like a S3 standard, S3 archive, S3, infrequent access, etc.
Now, bucket is a storage device, or what is it?
It's not a physical device, it's a logical device. It's like
So
logically.
it's not in the server, you said, right? So it's just a
No,
logical.
it is on the server. It is on the server. It stores it will allocate some memory for you. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. So
Yeah.
it's
It
not
is a big
logical, right?
server. It's like
It's a logical. It is logical. For us, it is logical.
Some
For us,
places assigned for you.
yeah.
Whenever you're signing,
Yeah.
I say S3 bucket, they are allocating some memory for you. That like a computer memory, you're getting online memory. That's it.
Yeah, sister, everything is mapped back to physical device, physical thing, but that is not our headache. That is AWS will take care of it. Yeah. So, but everything is physical, right? Because for everything, we need
that's what. Everything is in the on the.
Josephine said that everything we need a computing power, we need a memory, storage, computing, everything.
Are the banks using this cloud this thing, brother? Because what I see is there definitely will be some level of security threat, right? When the banks are using this cloud, the ordinary users are using the cloud, Facebook people are using the cloud, right? So
the thing is AWS, they don't mingle your data with other, because the AWS is very secure. Whatever you're creating, they will allocate those things to you only. So you are the so unlike your house, there in a block you have a lot of houses. Your house, you have only access.
You have the key to your house.
Yeah, your houses. Yeah.
Yeah, I have answer for your question, sister. Sister Josephine, you explained very well. Yeah, just I would like to add a little bit on it. On top of it, there is a concept called hybrid cloud. There is a concept called hybrid cloud. What they do, generally the banking or healthcare sector, what they do, they don't put everything on the cloud, because some of the information is very sensitive. What they will do, that information they will keep it on their private clouds, actually, locally maintained clouds. So what they will do, they will collaborate between their applications. Whatever information can be good enough, they will put on the cloud. But some of the very, very secure information, most of the companies, what they do, they keep it on their local data centers. They maintain their individual data centers. That's what they do. That's called hybrid cloud. Most of these applications, I know banking or I know that they go through hybrid cloud. Yeah. But as a sister Josephine said, that there is a unique addressing, everything is there. It will be well taken care of it. But
still there are hackers.
when you put something
because
on the
when
cloud,
it is in the internet, then you are in the main road.
See the problem. I tell you guys, it happened already. It's not the first time. What happened? See, if somebody, I tell you, it happened already. Amazon last time also, there are security threats happened. And what happened? See, for my company, I take an account. Okay, then I will go and hit the AWS. Logically, it's pretty much my location and whatever I do in my location. But you think about it, behind the scene, either my application or somebody's application, they will hit the hardware, AWS hardware. If I mess up something here, right, it's not only messing up my logical space. Behind the scene, I'm messing up something, a hardware level. If the hardware level is like a catastrophic, right, what will happen? Other applications will be down because of my problem, right? So last time what happened, there is a problem happened. How it happened, one application, somebody accessed their application, but they did something actually, advertently or inadvertently, I don't know. But because of it, there are certain AWS components were down. Actually, it's not frequently happened, but it happened. It happened multiple times actually. There is outage also. So, but they will be very quick. What they will do, what AWS will do immediately, they try to isolate that event. If the event happened in US, maybe Atlanta, right? They will try to isolate that event immediately. They will isolate that event in Atlanta region, so that it won't spread over other areas. It won't impact other areas. Then they will try to figure it out what happened, what they can resolve it actually. So immediately they will quickly jump on the game, and they will isolate that incident and they try to contain that. That's what they do. But it is pretty much possible So you think like that logically, oh, this is my area, I can do. But practically, right? Behind the scene, we are hitting the hardware. See, the hardware, there is a high possibility we share the hardware with some other companies, some other players. So that's why, the hybrid cloud is still, very, very good practice with very sensitive applications.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. Are we good?
Yes, Anna.
Is it clear? Confusing you more? Don't worry about it. We can keep discussing again and again. If you have any questions also, if you're not comfortable, right, please ping me directly. Okay. Either I will explain, or I will share you an article which you can go through in your free time. Okay. Yeah. This is all good discussions. Yeah. For me also, there is a lot of learning curve. Yeah, that's good. And we're all, it's beneficial for all of us. Okay. Take it like it is an open discussion forum. Okay. There is no master here. There is no students here. Okay. We are all here to discussing. Okay. Whatever we go, whatever we know, we are always, you guys are always welcome to share here. In the discussion, many good points came, right? Nice examples. That's good. Always good. All right. Are you good, everybody?
Yes, brother.
Okay. Understand? Okay, I close the console. Okay, all right then. Okay, we'll catch up. I will post the date again. Most probably by next Sunday, because next week again this Python guys will start the classes. Okay.
Okay. Good night, brother. Bye.
Yeah. Good night,
Good
all of
night.
you. Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
You're welcome.